Hello, in this commented presentation I will try to give you some tips about 3R information retrieval as a basis to get ready to systematic reviews. Here I'm preparing my pointer laser, here I am. So 3R information is disseminated amongst the different types of document. So document can be books or book chapters or established protocols, such as current protocols published by Wiley. And 3R information can also be located in a research paper or protocols and methods precisely published as peer-reviewed articles also. And information can be also hidden in narrative reviews and systematic reviews. So all these type of documents I'm talking about are what we call bibliographic documents. And in fact, the course is really addressing this type of information. In this course, I want to treat the subject of knowledge. Knowledge about 3Rs, or knowledge of science, because this is sedimented information. It means that it is well approved and well used by the scientific community, and I assume that you also can use library catalogs very easily. So we will focus on research papers and other peer-reviewed articles for current awareness. Let's have a look on the community which could be concerned about the 3Rs. First community, veterinarians, specialists about laboratory animal science. They can be also researchers dealing with in vitro techniques, and they can be also researchers dealing with animal models of disease. Sometimes researchers can use in vitro techniques and animal models. In this course, we want to address techniques to retrieve bibliographic documents concerning in silico models, and we want to address the question of how to retrieve information about experimental design and statistics. It is because I'm not able to judge the relevance of results of these two categories of articles. So now we will focus about how to retrieve our information for biomedical sciences. You start a search, you can be interested in defining which could be the best species or strain for obtaining good and valid results. And this question is very crucial, and it is already a 3R behavior. But this question is quite tricky. It's difficult to answer this question. If you're asking the question of what are models of disease, what kind of strains are existing as in vitro cells or strains of animal or transgenic animal. Of course, providers of these commercial products can give you information. Some centers also are specialized in the compilation of information about these strains. And unfortunately, I cannot give you tips how to use these information resources because it is clearly out of my competencies. I will simply focus on, as I told you, bibliographic information resources. So we can, let's imagine that you start your search, and of course you should try to look for compiled information with this type of information sources. But then you also could try to find some narrative reviews giving you an overview on what are strains or species used for a certain question to study a disease. If the search component of your search is typed in the search key box, such as disease and the species, these terms may be located in the title and or abstract and or material and methods. And if appearing at least in the title or abstract, it means that these terms are indexed by PubMed, Embase, Warsaw, Scopus, because they are citation databases, remember? So by the use of these search tools, you can end with the identification of very fruitful and interesting information with narrative reviews. If you ask what are the latest models of to study this disease, you should set up alerts with these corresponding tools. And again, since these terms are appearing at least once in the title and or abstract, you are able to retrieve these articles. But if you ask which strains exactly are used to study the effect of this drug for this disease, it is quite difficult, because the name of the strain, the very precise name, is only located in the material and method sections. And since PubMed, Embase, and Web of Science and Scopus do not index the material and methods section, there is no indexation. And at this moment, you should switch to a methodology which is called systematic reviews, to try to retrieve primary literature. Besides looking for information in commercial providers, you also can start your search and to go to fish to identify these reviews with citing tools. And you use review filters, and you also play with a display of results by time cited to identify the most important ones. You also can use Go3R as a tool to identify quickly some relevant articles. Go3R is a dedicated 3R search tool which can be interested. Please refer to the screencast on how to start a search. You also can fish new animal or new in vitro models by using alerts, and to be continuously informed by email or RSS feeder. In the case of Web of Science, Scopus, and PubMed, you need to sign in first to create these alerts as a preparation. And in the case of Web of Science and Scopus, you've got 3 types of alerts, namely citation alerts, subject alerts, and author alerts. Citation alert is very nice because each time you be informed that an article is cited by somebody else, you are straightly informed. The subject alert is very closely related to the building of a search string that can be reused for sending you automatically email concerning this topic. You can notice that Google Scholar has got also the option of a subject alert, but you don't need any sign in to do that. A very interesting option that is not further developed because it is quite specialized, but in PubMed you've got another type of alert which is concerning the selection of journals, and you can end with a set of journals to be informed about latest issues of peer-reviewed articles corresponding journal. And you also can combine a subject and a journal selection set to create a new alert. I would say that when you want to be really systematic, and if you want to stop to go simply fishing, please switch to the animal systematic review circle method. Circle method is advising to build your search string as follows. First, search component 1 should include intervention and exposure concept. Search component 2 should include the disease of interest or the health problem. Search component 3 should be made of animal or animal species or population studied concept. Please note that a fourth search component, namely outcome measure, could end with a few recall of results, and sometimes it is better really to rely on these three parts. So if we are taking back our question, what is the effect of anesthetic isoflurane on animal cells models of Alzheimer's disease? If you convert it with such a string, what is very convenient is that Circle is giving you the opportunity to install an already made search component concerning the animal part here in PubMed. So please visit their website to do so. And also what I advise to do before an animal experimentation is to run a systematic review about in vitro studies. And you can very easily replace a search component 3 with in vitro concepts. And so you should build like this your search string. A narrative review is really not the same as a systematic review. The narrative review is subjective and is not explaining you how information was retrieved. So, despite of the fact that it can be very interesting, it is lacking transparency, and we don't know also how a selection of papers was made. And this is a reverse situation for a systematic review. A systematic review is also addressing a very specific research question, and therefore transparency is occurring, and the selection of paper can be very well described. In a systematic review, there is also a critical appraisal of papers. It means that bias can be assessed. And systematic reviews can be sometimes a basis of meta-analysis, giving some new results. But it is not necessarily followed by meta-analysis, because sometimes it is not possible. Data are produced too differently and they are not comparable. In fact, if you phrase correctly a research question, and if you search systematically for all original papers, only primary literature with the exclusion of narrative reviews, it means that you are already performing the first step of a systematic review. From this point, then you can define some exclusion criteria from your bibliographic database or your own reference manager, and you can select relevant papers and assess the quality and the validity of the study by the evaluation of bias, and if possible you can extract the data and try to make an analysis and present the data. So I would say in conclusion that such strings are very useful to build alerts, different types of alerts, but especially subject alerts. And such strings are the beginning of a systematic review attitude for the best of the 3 R's. Thank you.